What a beautiful song, beautiful sentiment. We can all take that in on this day. And this morning in the Union, I thought there was a great cartoon celebrating mothers from Baby Blues. And it says, the first one, law enforcement, second one, firefighter, third one, search and rescue, fourth one, medic, fifth one, psychotherapist. And then it says, the original first responder. How true is all of that? We can all identify with all those aspects of what our mothers did for us. All those bumps and bruises and cuts that she kissed, all of the settling of disputes between brothers and sisters, getting us out of trouble whenever we got into it, finding us when we were lost. Um, what else? Laying down the law enforcement. Poor mom. She had to be the bad one so many times for us. And yet all of that, of course, is all part of the job of a mother, the first responder. And we are reminded then of the love of God that is really also the first responder, the love that is source, the love that created us. And I think it's a wonderful thing that we have this day set aside for moms. And I thought, especially this year, who among us didn't need our mother over the last 5 or 6 weeks? If we were really honest. I know I've been thinking a lot about my mom. And my mom is with me every Sunday on the service. She has a job. If you can see her right there. There she is. There's a photograph of my mom that sits up by the camera, because the tendency is that when you're on the computer, that you're looking down at the screen, whereas the camera is up above. So I've put this little photograph of my mom up there for two reasons. One, it reminds me to look up. But second of all, that my mom is smiling back at me. And it's very hard over the internet to really connect with people because it's very techno-based. And so when I see her face there, her gift to me is to remember that I'm speaking to live human beings. I'm speaking to people that love me and that I'm deeply connected to. And so my mom gives me that gift, and you, every Sunday. So Mother's Day has been around since 1914. President Woodrow Wilson was the one who inaugurated it as a special day to remember mothers on the second Sunday in May. And it came about from a woman by the name of Anne Maria Jarvis, who wanted the mothers of all of the soldiers in the Civil War recognized. And she had a big campaign to recognize her own mother, but also to recognize the great losses that all those mothers on both sides, and all of the grief and all of the pain and suffering that they endured during the Civil War. And so her efforts, which go all the way back to the Civil War, bore fruit when in 1914, the second Sunday of May then was declared to be Mother's Day. And so it is then with great joy that we remember motherhood, that we celebrate it, all of you who are mothers and grandmothers, all of you who are mothers to people, you could be male or female, but you are a caring presence in people's lives. Some of you may be godmothers, stepmothers. And so we honor you and we celebrate you all on this day. And we turn in prayer then at this time, as always. We pray especially for all of the moms who have passed on. And we just know that they are deeply connected to us because they're always in our hearts. And I'm sure on this day, as we reach out across the ethers, that they too are feeling our presence and that they are blessing us and sending us their love and their prayers. And so we open ourselves to accept that. And we pray for all mothers at this time who are enduring great stress because of the COVID-19, trying to care for their families, trying to provide for them, especially single mothers. We remember and we bless them all. And this morning then too, we pray for all those who are on the prayer list, for Diana and Keith Malley up there on the ridge. We remember David and Janet Lee, and we pray especially for their eldest son. We pray for their son David, who is a doctor, who's on the front lines. And we pause for a moment to remember our own personal and individual prayers. We take a moment in the silence to connect about those prayers. We pray also for Michelle and Michael. And so on this day, Mother's Day, we read the daily word for today. It says, I honor all mothers and am grateful for their love. I bless my mother and am grateful to her for the gift of nurturing love. Whether our mother is still alive, still with us, or has passed on, her love still lives in our hearts, and her wisdom continues to inspire us. I am grateful for the many ways my mother has blessed me. I also feel deep appreciation and tender affection for all those who have blessed me with the selfless gift of motherly love. I would not be who I am without them. Through the living example of the mothers in my life, I pass along the blessings of a mother's care and devotion as I embrace opportunities to share an affirming thought, an encouraging word, a smile, or a simple act of kindness. I honor my mother and all mothers as I share the love of God that never fails. I honor all mothers and am grateful for their care. And at this time, we have our meditation for today, and it will be presented by Sandy Spurgeon.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Mother's Day. I thought for today's meditation, what I'd like to do is invoke the presence of the Divine Mother within each and every one of us. So I invite you to get comfortable in your chairs. And if you can, place your feet on the floor. And just make sure your body is comfortable where you are sitting. So now just gently close your eyes or gaze softly at the floor beneath your feet. And bring your attention to your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through your mouth. And again, very deep breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. And one more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth, releasing any tension and all thoughts and just being fully present in this now moment. So continue breathing gently at your own pace. And with each breath in and out, allow yourself to move more deeply into the stillness. Now gently move your attention down to your heart center. Imagine a golden ray of light filling your heart, a nurturing and calming golden light, like the warmth of the sun, penetrating every cell of your body. From this place of stillness, we invoke the presence of the Divine Mother. And as you place your attention on this presence, you may or may not see an image or have a feeling or a sensation in your body. You may possibly see a color or colors. Allow this nurturing and loving presence of the Divine Mother to take you deeper into the stillness of your heart with each and every breath. I would now invite you to open to receive a blessing from the Divine Mother. I am your Divine Mother. I am here to remind you of your divine essence. I see your light and love you just the way you are. I see your inner child even when you do not. And I guide you as you heal any childhood wounds. I am the arms that embrace and comfort you in times of fear and self-doubt. I am the healer within you, seeing you whole, holy, and complete. And I am here to remind you to be playful. Remember to laugh and sing and be joyful. I am with you always, and I will never leave you. I invite you to align with me, to let your hands be my hands, to let your voice be my voice, to let your feet be my feet. We are one in love and light, bringing the light forward and out into the world, blessing all beings. Blessed be, my dear ones, this day and every day into eternity. Taking a deep breath, just taking those words in, allowing whatever words need to resonate with you, resonate and carry forward into the day, knowing that you are loved. Now you can begin to just wiggle your feet and your hands, and when you're ready, open your eyes.
Thank you, Sandy, for that beautiful Mother's Day meditation. And now at this time, we have another beautiful song, another tribute to the Divine Mother, this time by Kathy Zavada. Again, this takes us into a beautiful, gentle space. So today for Mother's Day, I decided that we would do something a little different. I'm not giving the talk, and I've invited 6 of our congregants to share about their moms. So we will have Catherine Mary Beatty, Dennis Casella, Frank Castro-Weir, Judy Sikowski, Sandy Spurgeon, and Leslie Van Natta share a little bit about their mom, and then also to answer the question that what was the one single gift that their mom gave to them. And so I just need to unmute um, people so that they can share with us. And let me found David Beatty. I just have to find Catherine. Here we go. All right, you're up and running.
Am I?
Yes.
Hello. Well, I don't see the full screen. I don't know, Jerry, if I just see my little screen.
Your mom is up there with you
Okay.
and you,
Okay.
and you're on there.
Hi. Okay. Hi, everyone. That picture that I had up was of my mother and meeting her first great grandchild. So it's one of my favorite pictures. My mother's name was Eleanor Stronsky. She was born on Christmas Day in 1916, and she moved on May 18th, 2015. The name Eleanor means bright, shining one, and she truly is that. She was born in Nebraska. I'll just give you a little history. She was born in Nebraska in a very small town called Dwight. I don't think there's still more than 300 people in that town. This is a picture of her as a baby. I feel very blessed to have this picture. And she was the youngest of 12 children. She went on to business schools, I think in Chicago or Illinois somewhere, and then she moved to Washington, D.C., where she worked for the government, met my father, who immigrated over here from Czechoslovakia. She also was the daughter of immigrants from Czechoslovakia. So they married late. She was 39 when she had me. And I was blessed to have her with me out here in California for the last 10 years of her life. So it was it's different as an adult child than when you're a child growing up. So that's kind of her history in a nutshell. And I did write down some things so that I would stay on track. And I want to read to you now what I wrote. The greatest gifts she gives me. When I enter my heart, where she abides, I feel a quiet strength and a deep peace, which is something you would always feel in her presence. She has given me the freedom throughout this life to be me, accepting me for who I am, never feeling judged by her, but always supported and encouraged. I call on her often to be with others here on this earth, to provide comfort and healing in their time of need. She showed what it means to live as the Christ and what true unconditional love looks like. I continue to feel blessed by her and feel such deep gratitude and love for all the gifts she has given me and others, and continues to do so as life goes on. And so it is.
Thank you, Catherine, for sharing that. And so next up we have, oh, there's Mom. Thanks for sharing. Next up we have Frank Castro Weir.
Hi, everybody. Jerry, thank you so much for asking me. I loved this opportunity to think about this gift. And I brought a picture. This is me as a baby and my sister, and that's my mom, who's about the same age as my daughter Joy right now. So I got kind of a kick out of looking back and seeing her about that same age. So the one gift, I really realized, and I try to find one way to say it, but she was a master at keeping life simple. We had 7 kids. Oh, and by the way, she's Irish going all the way back. I know that's why Jerry wanted to hear about my mom. So it's that old Irish heritage. Um, but this, and it's sort of a counterweight for me. I realized what a gift it was. Um, she was a master at sticking to the priorities. Like, for example, we were never late, 7 kids, and somehow we managed to all get in the car and arrive someplace and be on time and not be stressed. And I'm not saying, especially growing up, life wasn't chaotic with all those kids. It certainly was. There was a cacophony of laughter and sounds and stuff. And yet, through it all, she managed to keep it, in a sense, peaceful. Uh, there was a schedule. We knew what it was. Like, I was thinking, for instance, and we laugh about the kind of meals I eat now, but with my mom. But it wasn't about the meals having to be perfect. I mean, we laughed about the cans of green beans, and maybe you guys went through that too. But my mom could get a meal on at exactly 6 o'clock, and everybody knew what it was. And by 7, the dishes were done, and everybody was lazing around on the couch with the Cubs game on, reading books or playing games. There was a rhythm and a pattern, and actually a kind of a simplicity that was very, very peaceful. And why I really am appreciating this about my mom and realizing that this was a foundation for me is it's very different than my personality. And I realize I can be more into what's new, and I'm curious on how to change and what's on the cutting edge and what's different, and exploring, which can lead me sometimes to this place of of almost overwhelm. And then I go back to this one great gift my mom gave me that says it's okay to keep it simple, to have a pattern, to get into good habits. I mean, my mom, wasn't like this person with this great theological base, but by gosh, we were at Mass every Sunday, and we had tuna casserole on Lent on Fridays. And there was these very simple patterns and very simple unfoldings of living life that made it so peaceful and so secure, and so in the sense that things were okay. So she left me like an anchor of how to be simple and how to keep it clean and how to just enjoy the very simplest things of life in the most profound ways. Um, and now at the end of her life, she's in Alzheimer's unit in Little Rock, and we go to visit her, and she's still in this with all the guards down, and there's Alzheimer's. She has this very simple laugh and a very simple cadence to life, and enjoying the very simplest of things that I find a very sort of anchor that's kind of opposite of me. And I so appreciate that gift she gives me. To this day, I feel like, thanks, Mom. You've taught me how to have a sense of peace and calm. And for that, I realize how grateful I am to her. So thank you.
Thank you, Frank. That was beautiful, as always. Go Irish. All right, and so next up is Dennis Casella, whose mom, Jean, is probably listening on the call.
First thing I have to say is happy birthday to my sister, who was born on May 10th. And I want to say happy Mother's Day to all of my sisters and sisters-in-laws and their mothers. And it could go on for a long time, wishing people happy Mother's Day. My mother was born on the cusp of the Great Depression in Abilene, Kansas, the first of 3 siblings. So she and I have the same background in that I am the first of 7. Now, 7, I need to explain, my first sibling died at 1 day of age. So by being the second sibling, I became the leader, so to speak. So what did my mother impart to me that, or has she still, is she still imparting to me as she is still living and all of my siblings are still, she gave me the sense of responsibility and the sense of family that goes to a first child. The responsibility that I had towards my siblings as they were growing up and that I still have to my siblings and probably will always have. The greatest gift that she gave me is very specific. When I got to the 6th grade, I was reading at the 3rd grade level, and my math ability was 3rd grade, and my spelling was probably worse than that. And my mother developed flashcards to improve my math ability and flashcards for my spelling ability. And through an agreement with my 6th grade school teacher, I read to her under the clothesline, and every opportunity that we were together, I read to her orally whatever I was supposed to be reading. And by the time that I got out of high school, I was reading 2nd year of college. She taught me to read and to do reasonable math, and I was pretty much a proofreader in my working career. And Jerry's going to put up a photograph of my mother, and you'll see that my mother and I look a great deal alike, except for the white hair. I am certainly my mother's child. I am very grateful to my mother for giving me the ability to lead, and she's probably the major cause of my being a 9 on the Enneagram, because my responsibility in the household was to keep peace, to be the arbitrator of disagreements between my siblings and between my siblings and myself, as I was 3 years older than they were. And they would say, well, we're going to tell Mama and you. And I would say, good, I'm going to get to her first. You know, tell my side of the story first. And the fact that we all reached adulthood with none of us ever having been in prison, and most of us still either retired or gainfully employed. I think my mother did an outstanding job raising 6 children on a waitress's salary, the bookkeeper's salary, and ultimately working for the county of Sacramento. I think she did a really great job.
Thank you, Dennis. Dennis's mom is truly an amazing woman, and all of Dennis's work and committees and staying involved with society and the community and all of that, I know that that comes from his mom also. So next up, we have Judy Slakowski. So let me unmute you, Judy. All right. Go ahead.
I'm not on the screen.
That's okay. You are
Okay.
on ours. You're on full screen on ours. So just.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, everybody. Good morning, this beautiful morning, and to everybody who nurtures. It's a special day. When Jerry asked me to share memories of my mother, I was amazed at the amount of memories that just flooded me. It's been a while. I'm lucky that my mom is still alive and she's still with us. She'll be 101 in July. And she's doing well, still sharp and still happy. That's the main one. She gave me a strong base to grow on, always there for me, never judgmental. She asked many times, she said many times, no matter what, always be kind. One memory I have that always stayed with me, I was 5 or 6. The neighborhood bully was picking on me, and I ran to her crying and told her. She hugged me and said, well, if he's picking on you, he's leaving someone else alone, and you can take it. And I thought, yes, well, I'm going to go find him, and I'm going to pick on him. When I was leaving, she held to me, try making him your friend. Well, it took a while, but we became really good friends. And now, over the years, not now so much, at this age, nobody bullies me, but when somebody tried to bully me, I thought, I'm going to make them my friend. And it usually worked. Not always. She taught me without knowing she was teaching me, mainly by example, how to love unconditionally and to keep my heart open. Anger only hurts you, she told me many times. I'm still learning from her how to be strong and happy. It's all choice. She's a great, great grandma to 4 beautiful girls. There's 5 generations and we're all doing well. This is a picture of her when she was young. Love the hairdo, huh? And there's a quick picture. Oh, her name is Maxine O'Haver, by the way. There's a picture of her when her and I were in Ireland. That's at the Cliffs of Moher. And I took that. And then this one was about 4 years ago for the directory. The 2 of us. I'm so blessed to have a mother who showed me how to live a happy, healthy life and be myself. I know I have a child myself, so I know what a gift from God children are. And love everybody that nurtured you. Well, love everybody anyway, but love everybody who nurtured you. Just think about the people in your life who have nurtured you. But there's nobody quite like Mother. I get to see her every Friday now because the nursing home is allowing me a 20-minute visit once a week. It's great. Yeah. Well, thank you. Everybody have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judy. And yes, your mom, who has been part of our congregation until she could no longer come, is truly a beautiful, beautiful soul. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. And up next, I have to go searching for Sandy Spurgeon. All right, Sandy, you're up.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Good to see you all. So here's a picture of my mom that I just love. You can all see that. That picture shows her light when I look at it. So my mom's name is Alicia, and she is still with me, 94 years young, and she just recently, well, within the last year, moved into a independent and assisted living community. And she's doing really well outside of not driving anymore, which was challenging for her. She's still very independent, and I feel so grateful for that. So my mom was born first generation in San Francisco, California, first generation from Mexican immigrants. My grandparents immigrated from Mexico in 1916, somewhere around there. So she was raised Catholic and had 8 siblings. So it was a really large family. So family was always really important to my mother. And she always stressed that family coming together. And she was kind of the glue. My grandmother really was the glue, but then when grandma passed, then it was my mom's job to kind of be the one that pulled us all together. So she really valued family, and she passed that on to me. She was a working mom, raised four children, and she showed me in her work ethic how to work and also how to balance family and work life. It wasn't always easy. My dad was not always one to jump up and help at different times. It was usually a lot of mom's responsibility. And on Sunday evening, we had our standard meal and standard things that she would do. She had to do things pretty much in an orderly way so that we kind of always knew Sunday was our, family gathering day. And it was really a wonderful time together to have a big meal together and just enjoy each other. And we did go to church every Sunday. So that was an important part of my mom's life as well, going to church and prayer. And back when I was raised, it was the saying was, a family that prays together stays together. And that was what Mom would always say to us: family that prays together stays together. So we'd always pray together at meals, and once a week we'd do the rosary together. So my mom has many, many talents. I mean, she is so creative. She's an amazing seamstress. She does beautiful crafts and paintings. I didn't inherit any of that. That's none of the things that I got from my mom. But what she does, I think it's really the spirit through the way that she does things that I really love. She brings with her, when she's doing a project or playing a game with us or whatever, she just brings this joyful presence with her. And so she's very curious. She learned how to use an iPad at the age of 85, and she loves it. She plays games on it with her friends, and she's just, she just is learning new things. In fact, she's now Zooming with us. So at 94. So I'm really, really blessed to have had that, to see her, the way that she lives her life. And at one point, I think it was when I turned 65, I said to her, "Mom, how do you deal with getting older?" And she said, "I just don't think about my age. Just live your life." And I think that was one of the best pieces of advice I could get as each year, goes on. I remember that. So I would say the greatest gift my mother has given me, and I really thought about this a lot, because what she gave me was foundational to my life now. And her greatest gift to me was the gift of faith. And that always brings up so much emotion for me, because it's so crucial in my life right now. And I never appreciated it. When I was young, I just never appreciated it about my mother. I would say, "Oh, you're so naive, and you go along with this blind faith, just, oh, Mom." That was like when I was in my 20s. But as I got older and older, that faith that she had and that she expressed to us, not in words, but in actions, and in the way she would hold space with that for each of us when we would be going through our traumas, the various dramas of life. She just held this beautiful space, and you always knew she was praying for you. And when I was young, that was just kind of, oh yeah, that's just Mom praying. But now it is a foundation for my life. And I feel so grateful, because I feel that it's a gift that continues to grow in me, and it's a gift that I can also give. So I'm so appreciative of her for that. So thank you for letting me share about my mom.
Thank you, Sandy. That was beautiful as always. Thank you. Okay, next up, HIJKL, here we go, which may be a surprise to someone else on the call, is still not unmuting. Let me see what's going on here. That's weird. Okay, I think it's showing that you're still muted, but there you go.
Me?
Yes,
Okay.
Leslie Lanata.
My mom Am I showing on the big screen?
You are, yeah.
Okay. My mom is Lynn Sloan. To any of you who don't know that, she is my mom. Wow. And boy, have I had the tissues going during this, you guys. How do I put my heart into words? Part of what I want to express has to include my mom's story, but that's not really mine to share. So I'll be vague so that I can share my experience of it. My mom was forced into very challenging circumstances at a young age with 3 kids. My mom has moved through life with courage, grace, great love, and a huge amount of fun and humor. She never complained about the circumstances, nor did she ever make us feel we were a hardship. In fact, at one point in my adult life, I told her how all the things she did with us felt so fun and burden-free. And I hoped we weren't too selfish and unaware of her pain or concerns. My mom's reply was, when I was having fun with you guys, I was happiest. You kids saved my life. From my point of view, I was a very smart but very challenging and troubling daughter. My mom has taught me what forgiveness really looks like and feels like and how it heals. My mom, by example, taught me how important it is to do what needs to be done and to learn what I need to learn to keep growing. My mom's heart is generous beyond words. My mom has been a Unity student for most of her life, and I'm so grateful she made us go to church all those mornings when we whined and pretty much made the whole drive there miserable for her. She was probably so relieved to get us out of the car and into our Sunday school. What Unity teaches me has always deeply resonated with my soul. I have struggled with my own sense of worth, but I can't imagine following any other faith to help me continue to find my way. The way my mom lives Unity principles inspires me always. She is my Shiro. Strong, smart, brilliant, beautiful, deeply spiritual, really fun, generous, compassionate, and kind. I have a lifetime of memories of all the ways my mom showed up generously loving for so many people. I am infinitely proud to say, that's my mom. What is my mom's greatest gift to me? Her heart. I love you, Mom. Oh, and one last picture. At the happiest place on earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. That was beautiful. And yes, those of us who came to Unity in the Gold Country throughout the years have really known how wonderful a person your mom is. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I think that has certainly celebrated Mothers and Mother's Day for us. So we move on to the next part of the service, which is our words, power words for the month of May. Curiosity. I live in a world of wonder. Yes, indeed. And so, as always, we come to the part of the service where we're conscious of having received so much, having received unconditional love, mother's love, and that there's always the flow, there's always the giving back. And so I invite you to say our offering statement with me. I give in love because I love to give. We just say that one more time. I give in love because I love to give. I love that statement. You know, it's something that was new for me, you know, to hear some statement like that. And again, it's one of Unity's many gifts to us. And so we have another piece of music, Heart of the Mother by Michael Stillwater.
one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God.
Another beautiful song there for Mother's Day. And so we come to our announcements for this weekend. And you should have received an email yesterday morning from us. And it is just a single item. It's called Finger on the Pulse Survey. And so we're asking all of you to respond to that. Let us know your thoughts. You know, what are your concerns right now in terms of the COVID-19 virus? And what are your concerns going forward? And then, of course, we're also doing preliminary, just touching in with all of you about when we open and how that might look and what you're thinking about all of that. So obviously we will follow all of the directives and we will make sure that we feel that it's safe to open up and only open up when we feel safe. So please do respond and let us know your thoughts. We continue to have our wall of remembrance, and each week we've been adding photos there. So I invite you to continue to send us in photos of your loved ones and pets as they pass during this time. And then always a little humorous note to end on. Well, not yet. And I saw this the other day, and it just really struck me. It says, now we see the power of what we spread. We're all aware of how the virus can be spread, but there's also, if you want to call it, the virus of love. And we see the power of each one of us to spread love at this time. Now, our little humorous bit, it says, Mrs. Beatty got a little too used to watching online worship from home. So this is an anticipation of our opening up, that when you do come back, you can leave the bunny slippers and the curlers at home. And a closing thought, we are not just made by God, we are made of God. Wonderful words of wisdom from Mother Julian of Norwich from the 12th century. So I've really enjoyed today's service. I want to thank all those who shared their moms with us and the gifts that they were to them. Thank you again. So let us close with our unity prayer, as always. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am. and all is well.